Yeah, so I just came out and speak to Miss Cannon. She says like, well, he could have got his phone back at the end of the day. I said, well, nah, he told me that I need to come. One of us, you need to speak to the parents. He goes, fine, I believe my son. I believe him because this is what they do, okay? They love to drag me into places where whoever they try to use, okay, to speak with me or what have you, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. You know, I've never not do what I was supposed to do, especially when it comes to my kids. And when it comes to going into the school and speaking to whoever I need to speak to, I have never shied away or not go. So again, the narrative that they try to do and how they try to make you become scared or afraid or whatever, you know, because they try to put into your head that you're some type of suspect. Right? It's all bullshit. Listen, I've been going to this for 2 fucking decades. 2 decades. If I committed a crime, why they haven't fucking come knocking at my door? Right? I walk down the street. You guys see me almost every fucking day doing these videos. Okay? People get harassed. Why? Okay? What this is about experimentation. I keep telling you guys this. The fact that I've been illegally implanted with a microchip. And even to this day, you tell people that shit, they look at you funny. And it's like, yeah. Like, how fucking dense can you be? Go do the fucking research. Okay? Go do the research. You know what I'm saying? Go undo the damn research. You're looking at his shoes. So I'm looking out the window. Looking out the window. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These are criminals. Okay? Though they are the authoritative position, they are criminals. Understand that, TIs. And you got to look at them as such. Okay? And if you can stand up to them, you stand up to them. Right? Because again, they're not going to tell the people who they get in your community to target you how they drug you. Right? They're not going to tell how they continue to drug you. Okay? They're not going to tell how they use people to come into your life and then lie. They're not going to tell you how they go to your significant others and lie to them. You know? Make them feel like they're special because they join in some fucking cult. And they give them positions where they're paid, you know, above average salaries in order to keep them quiet. See, the one thing white supremacists understand with black people, okay, is once you give them a position, because they know economically we're suppressed and oppressed, and they know once a black person gets a position and they have and it's a good job, it's paying them a good salary, above average salary, they'll do whatever it takes to hold on to that position. Okay? Understand how they know how to use us against each other, using economics, using religion, and they have us into this self-centered and selfish way of thinking, narcissistic way of thinking, that we don't ever think about, you know, when we're dead and gone, what kind of life our children is going to live. Meanwhile, we see what's being done right in front of our faces. Okay? But we're okay with that because they got us waiting on Jesus. You know? And it's not just black people. There's any other group of people who believe in this bullshit Christianity. Okay? At least the way they practice it today. Right? And what they're practicing is Catholicism. Okay? Christendom. But not Christianity that ancient people used to practice. Because if you go back and you read the old text, okay? You read the Gnostics. Jesus was never the so-called Son of God. All right? Even though he was a myth. Yeah, so I walk in here, the loud banging. Yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah. Okay? Remember, there are 16 different saviors before your so-called Christ. And if you go read their story one by one, and then you go back to your Bible and read about Jesus, you can't tell me that you don't see the similarities. Okay? And it isn't just, it's not just a small similarity, it's the overall story. All right? It's exactly the same. The Romans just created their own interpretation and got you fools believing in that nonsense. This is why y'all behave so dumb today. This is why I call y'all sheeps. Because they've created in our minds, okay? They've created in our minds this fear. Right? So how come they never fear when they never had fear of going to hell when they went to Africa, right, and took black people and brought them here and turned them into slaves? Right? How come they never had no fear when you see the Pope blessing the weapons of the Nazis? How come they didn't have no fear when Catholic missionaries, nuns and priests, right, were abusing and murdering children? How come they never had no fear of going to hell? See, this is the shit that y'all don't think about. Why? Because again, religion. Right? How come they never had no fear when the priest was molesting them young boys? How come they never had no fear when you hear in the Vatican that the cardinals and the priests in the Vatican having sex orgies, including homosexual sex? How come they don't have any fear then? Huh? But they got you Negropeans all scared and shit. Somebody try to teach you all the truth. Okay, y'all want to attack them. And this goes for white Europeans too, as well as Asians. I understand white Europeans, white people that you understand your own history. How the church in 1,000 years, okay, ran through Europe brutalizing people to get them to be indoctrinated with this Christian bullshit. Okay? Come on now. It's in the history books. It's in the records. Okay, records that was written down that you can find today. But you can't find no records outside of the Bible of Jesus. Okay? You go look at Josephus. You go look at the Roman historian Tacitus. Okay? And you can find it, you can actually go read Josephus. Okay? There were historians at that time that wrote about history. This is how we know Roman history. So why isn't there ever a mention about Jesus Christ? Look at the cops turning. Okay. But, so why they never mention the so-called Christ? Your so-called Jesus. Alright? Your so-called Yeshua. Why they never mention it? You look at the historical records of Kemet, which again our ancestors wrote on the wall, the book and stones, the history. Why you never find no Hebrew people? Why you never find no mention of some the Hebrews being slaves and building the pyramids? Come on now. Religion is bullshit, and y'all believing in this shit. That's why this world is so fucked up the way it is. That's why people act like the way they act. That's why they can turn people against each other anyhow they feel like. Because they understand religious indoctrination, what it does to the mind. So always for the past couple of nights now, it's been like, past couple of days, it's been these only cars making U-turns are great cars. Okay? So anyhow. Yeah, like I said, my purpose is to expose these motherfuckers, yeah. Yeah, they can't bring out the fire trucks now, so what they do, they bring out the emergency trucks. Fuck you. Anyhow, what was I saying? Anyway. But like I said, it's all bullshit, and this is what they do. And the people responsible for creating the mentality that we have today are the same one that we love. Subconsciously, deep in our subconscious, this is love. So that's why we hate ourselves. And we can do this to each other. Not just black people. See, white people feel superior because, again, they know that their history is all lies. And they know that they hid those lies very well. Okay? But not anymore. This is one of the reasons they wanted to have control over the internet. Right? So they can limit what you can find. Again, we're in the age of information. Again, this happened before. And as usual, when it happens, whatever society you're living in, the rulers of those society will seek to suppress knowledge. Because as long as they keep you blind and ignorant, you're just going to follow along what they tell you to do. And then you see that's happening right now. Okay? We're just living in a modern time. That's it. Our modern time.